Hey, Stephanie, come on. I'll put the link. Actually, okay, the link's on the chat, Stephanie. And so tonight I was going through some topics on the internet, like trending Google searches. I mean, you still have a lot, but somebody won the Mega Millions, which I'm excited. So there's a big winner out there with the Mega Millions. I'm not sure what the jackpot was. Let's take a look. Let's see. Mega Millions. How have you been, Stephanie? Well, there was a historic voyage going on today. So there was a launch, a Boeing launch, Stephanie, into space with two astronauts. Now, honestly, I'm not sure if I could really, if that would be a thing for me. Like, if I could honestly handle being on a spaceship. But yes, let's see where they're going to. It's a historic voyage with two astronauts. Let's see. So, uh, yeah, Stephanie, Stephanie, get on the panel. Come on. So, they have to store your urine in containers, which makes sense if you're going out into space. Like, I couldn't imagine being an astronaut with no gravity. Um, that's just crazy. I mean, I couldn't. It's just like one of those things. Like, to go on a spaceship, go on to Earth. I mean, have they been to Mars yet? I know they went to the moon. We've gone to the moon before, but I couldn't imagine living in a thing, like just living in the thing and trying to. You're bumping into the other person. It's like, I don't know. They keep on trying to go into space though, so I get it. Here's Stephanie. Let's see. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good, good. So yeah, I just saw that on the news. Like I didn't even know that it happened. So what do
Yeah.
you know about it?
Well, they're going to the International Space Station.
Okay. And where's that? Is
Yeah.
that just like in outer space?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's been up there for a long, long time.
Y- I can't. Could you imagine if they offered you to do that? Would you do that? Even if they, like, let's say they paid you a lot of money, would you want to? Was that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Oh, my God. At this point in my life, I'd love to go to the space station. You bet. Why not?
I don't.
Shit.
I would. I would try it, but like it would be such an adjustment. Like I couldn't imagine. Can you imagine like trying to, you're eating like, what do they have? Like dried food, right? It all has to be like, the food has to be like freeze dried, I guess. And like, it's just a
Well,
whole,
yeah, I don't know too much about it. I would have to look it up, but who knows? Maybe they've advanced now where they,
maybe, because I know
yeah,
that's how it used to be. I know
that's
how it, like,
interesting.
the
Yeah.
food, everything had to be like freeze dried and, because
Well,
of the
it
no,
was wasn't it like in packets and stuff?
yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but who knows, Michelle? Maybe it's changed. We've advanced so much. Who
You're
knows?
right. That is true.
I wonder if they can just sit and have a cup of coffee together. Who knows?
I'm wondering, can you imagine Stephanie and I like, who would you not want to be in a time like one of the spaceships with?
Tom.
Tom and Stephanie. Only one. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There were two people went up there, and only one came back. What's going? Oh well, someone was in outer space floating.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I mean, that would be so. I gotta tell you, Stephanie. Like, I couldn't imagine just being on this. Like, how long is? Do you know how long the mission is?
You mean how long it takes to get there?
Yeah, like how long before they come back to Earth?
Oh, no, Michelle, I don't know. I don't know about that. It's just they haven't sent anybody up there for quite a few years. So, um, I guess it's long overdue. Who
I
knows?
That's just crazy. This It's just like insane to me to go that high to high up there. And what's the mission based on? They're just going to the space center to collect like data or to.
Well, yeah, that's what I think the Space Center does. Yeah.
That's great. I mean,
They live up there and, uh, yeah. Yep.
oh, that's nuts. Like,
I would love it. I would do it in a heartbeat right now.
well, they did it. Well, I mean, I think I would like it more if there was like a destination where you get off at, like the moon. Like, okay, we're going to the moon. All right, and then like get out, and Well, I guess they're trying to. They're looking at Mars even.
Yeah, but they'd have to find Mars is, I mean, uh, I'm,
Is Mars too
I'm gonna.
hot
Well,
as opposed to?
it's so far, Michelle.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna Google how far Mars is. I mean, they'd have to figure a way to get there before the person was an old man.
yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I don't know anything about spaceships, how fast they can go. I'm really like, I've seen a couple get launched at Port Canaveral. I've seen like them launch aircraft. The
Oh, Michelle, Mars is 171 million miles away.
Yeah, but those things go so fast. You could probably get there in like, I don't know, a month or so. Would you say a month?
Oh, I don't know. No, they have not. They have not been able to build a spaceship that could get you to Mars yet.
No, not yet. We're all gonna go
No,
to we're all gonna go to Mars. Except Mars is too
no.
hot because they've always talked about life on Mars, right? Like they think that things are like living on Mars. I mean, well, how far is the moon? Because we went to the moon, but we can see the moon every night, so it can't be like it's obviously in our
I'll have.
orbit.
I'll Google it. I'm not sure.
This is what Google, everybody knows everything. It just takes a click of a button, you guys. Google, search, love it. Let's see. I I mean,
Oh, the moon is 238,000 miles.
yeah, but that's still not millions. You said millions to Mars, right? So
171 million.
million, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the moon's pretty far away, but like we made it to the moon. They're probably like, they're probably gonna have like I could just see it now. They're probably like testing like people to see like how long they could keep a body going and everything. Like after you pass away, they're gonna see if like they can bring you back to life and everything. It'll be interesting. They'll figure something out with all those scientists. I mean, who would have thought, Stephanie, that humans would evolve that much to make a spaceship to go to the moon? But we did it. You know,
Oh, I know. Oh,
we
I know. It's like, all the sci-fi movies you watch, these people go into those chambers, to these planets, on these sci-fi movies. Um, who knows? That may not be far away.
I mean, that's just like we always think it's ridiculous. Like I've made when I was at work a couple times, I made suggestions like futuristic, like kind of off the wall things, and I got like people like they kind of like made fun of me a little bit, but some of them ended up happening like years later. Like they're like, "Oh yeah, like that's gonna this and that." Wow, those people that I was throwing suggestions out to, because sometimes we would do like focus groups. Um Focus groups at work about just ideas, just throwing out ideas. Whatever. And you're not
Right.
supposed to get judged for it, you know what I mean? It's just like whatever comes to mind. Like whatever you think, just think even if you think it's out there. And it's just amazing, like it just amazes me how smart humans have came from, you know,
Oh, well, yeah,
wagon. We had
of
wagons, then
course.
we made automobiles, then we made spaceships, we make flying drones. I mean, it just goes to
Oh,
show
yeah.
it just goes to
Oh, I
show
know.
you if you have a thought, it could probably come true no matter how outlandish that idea or thought is.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Look at the technology. I mean, look how, look how we can talk to people, all over the world on our freaking phones. I mean, even that alone right there. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's just like human nature as far as just wanting to like build better things to like better everything. But I mean, there's always, even when something's like an idea for good, like I mean, there's always like some negatives to it too. It can always cause some negative things.
yeah. Sure.
Like how when people are like, oh, well, because of technology now, everyone's lazy, right? Like everyone just wants that instant fix now because we're getting so used to it.
That's how it is now. I mean, we don't even have to get off our ass to change the TV anymore.
We don't even,
I mean, come on,
no,
Michelle.
Stephanie,
We used to.
Stephanie,
What?
I don't even have to get off my butt to find my phone. I just say, Alexa, call my phone. Like I can just tell my
Oh, I
Alexa. I don't
know.
even have to like,
I know. We've all become lazy. I mean, we used to have to get up and change the channels on the TV. I mean, you know.
the the amount of I don't know, the amount of knowledge that everybody has now at their fingertips. Like just you could Google anything. And most of the time it's right. I mean, I'm sure there's times when you might get false information, but I mean, it's just all right there. And it's just like I don't know.
I know. No, it's crazy from a person like me who never grew up with the technology. I mean, I remember, getting my family getting a color TV, Michelle. I mean, you know, uh,
Well, I
when
remember, let's see. I remember
Me,
when we
we,
first got a TV with a remote. Like when I was a kid, we only had our TV didn't have a remote. We had to change it with the dials on the
yeah,
TV. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, we didn't have, like the kids now, computers or cell phones or, I mean, any of that, uh, you needed to make a call. You went to a phone booth or you used your home phone. I mean, you know, uh, yeah. So,
Do you,
we,
like I said, Stephanie, so I could see you like going to you're shopping somewhere, and then they have like a robot assistant. And, like Stephanie's running away from it. I do not want your help. Thank you.
oh, yeah, to hell with that.
Are you sure? Do you need what do you need help with? And then they keep on taking you to the wrong aisle too, because you know how it can mess up. My Alexa messes up sometimes. Like when I ask her something, she'll be like, "Did you say like M&Ms?" And I'm like, "No." And she'll be like, and I'll say it again. And like sometimes it takes 4 or 5 times, and it's just crazy.
Well, it's like, what drives me insane right now is trying to get a human to talk to on the phone.
I
I
I
mean,
I have to
oh
tell
my
you. I
gosh.
have to tell you, that is a legit complaint because I've noticed too, like you're pressing this button, pressing that button, you're pressing all these buttons to,
Oh
and maybe you might
God.
talk to somebody, and it's like usually it's just quicker when you talk to somebody because they know what they're doing. They're just like, here, let me just connect you with whatever you
Yeah, I
need.
mean, I know you try to pay bills or you want to talk to somebody and you're yelling representative, representative in the phone. Jesus.
Can I please talk to a representative here? We
It
need.
drives me insane. Oh my God.
Oh, I could see
Oh,
Stephanie. Stephanie's like, I need no, I need to talk to a representative. Would you like to go back to the main menu? No.
yeah. Well,
Stephanie
yeah.
does her.
When that happens, I just hang up and start over. I get so frustrated.
I do the same thing. I have the
Shouting
same.
in the phone. Oh my God.
That if you,
I
I
hate
mean,
that.
that's just it's just yeah. So I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, we have refrigerators now that you can program stuff to and watch it. You can put your grocery list on your refrigerator computer, and
Oh gosh.
you could, yeah, like you could have your TV. You have like little mini, like I don't know why you would need a mini TV on your refrigerator, but I mean, you can get one if you feel that that might be useful for you. Like it can keep inventory on what's in your refrigerator. I
Well,
mean,
you mean you got so much food stuffed in there you don't know what you have?
it'll, it'll tell you, please, you need to buy more eggs. Okay, well, send that to, you know what they could do? Oh, here's a good idea, Stephanie. Have a refrigerator, right, that keeps your inventory for you. And then when you run low on something, it makes a list and sends it to the grocery store so that you can have it delivered to your house. How about that?
Oh no, 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 no. I wouldn't want to do that because you never get the sale prices when you order online. You never never get sale prices. And then if they're out of something, they substitute it with something else.
I
No,
don't, I
I
mean,
tried that home grocery shit and I one time and that was the last time.
so like I'm thinking, yeah, you can have your refrigerator like compile it. So like you know how there's barcodes on all your groceries, right? And if there isn't,
Uh,
there's produce codes, whatever. So you have like a scanner on your refrigerator, right? Where you can like when you put your, refrigerate, stuff in, and then when you take it out, you can scan it again when you pull whatever out of the refrigerator, and then that can compile like some kind of grocery list or give you like notifications on like when you need groceries, and then send it to the grocery store. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't
Well,
know.
I can think of something right now because I
What's
want
that?
some. I
Okay.
would like to be able to be sitting here on my ass like I'm doing right now
Okay.
and yell in the kitchen, make coffee.
So
And
wait a
have
minute, Stephanie.
what?
So what if, like, okay, that could be possible.
Yeah. And then
If
my
you
coffee pot starts making coffee.
so what we can do here is you can, if you have an Alexa device, so you might need to get a little Alexa device, but then we could program a coffee maker to hook up to your Alexa device, and then that all you have to say is, Alexa, make my coffee. And then your coffee maker starts making your coffee for you.
Well, yeah. I see. I had a pot where you can program what time you want your coffee made. You know, but you still have to set the coffee pot up. You know what I mean? Put the water and the coffee
Right.
in it, and then you set what time you want it to start. To start making coffee. I just want something. I don't know, something that's already set up and just yell, "Make coffee!"
Hey, I mean it's a Stephanie, that's a possibility. I love it. Let's see. Um, doesn't take 3 days for delivery. So Marcia, you can order groceries online and usually get it the same day.
Oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
get it. Oh no, no, Marcia. No, I did that Instacart we have here, and then you punch in your groceries and it comes the same day. The problem is, like I said, the prices are always a little bit higher online. Uh the, because I know, the prices of the stores I shop at, right, Michelle?
Oh yeah.
So they're always a little more. And then if they're out of something, they substitute it. And then they've got all these freaking fees. And then you have to give a tip. So it's quite expensive to order groceries online. Now, you can order. We have the pickup groceries. Like I could sit here and order my groceries, from Walmart, and then go pick them up, and they bring them out to your car.
Yeah, um I like those features. My mother, she uses Instacart, she uses Instacart for her groceries sometimes. And I mean, honestly, I mean, you're right. It's a little bit more expensive per item. And then
Right.
you have to pay a delivery fee and service and then tip, or
Yeah.
don't. I mean, you don't,
Right.
some apps you don't have to tip, but yeah, I've delivered groceries to people before. Usually when I'm delivering groceries from major stores, they pay really well. I get paid more, or I get more of a tip when I'm delivering. I think it's because I'm delivering a whole bunch of, like, bags
Right.
and stuff, but um yeah, like that's, I mean, it's not still, oh, PK says you still have to load the coffee. So made
Right.
if we
Yeah.
made yeah, if there was like a coffee maker that could try to run from that could try to uh I think it yeah, I think if the coffee maker was already loaded. So you probably just have to
Yeah.
make
See,
sure.
they need to come up with a coffee pot that you could even like load at one time, and you get so many pots of coffee out of it. See
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
And
do. No, I see
then,
exactly what you mean. Like,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you could load it up, right? And then you could
right,
set it to just make one pot at a time. You do, or
right.
have like settings, like, yeah. I like that.
and have like voice activated.
Yeah.
Make coffee.
Yeah.
And then it just starts up and makes, one pot. Yeah, well, that'd be cool. I'd like that because I'd really like to have a cup of coffee right now, but I just don't. I just don't want to get up. I had
Did,
to shop today and I'm so tired.
aw. Did
I
you
know it.
did
I'm not,
did
I won't
you
complain.
do you have a Keurig machine by any
Uh,
chance, or is it just a regular coffee maker, like a just a
no, it's
like a pot?
I went, I had one of those, Keurig things, with the
Yeah.
pods.
Mm-hmm.
And I drink too much coffee, Michelle. And so it was a waste of time, one cup at a time, all day
All
long.
right. Yeah, I see.
And
Yeah.
so I went back to the old fashioned 12 cup, Mr. Coffee type machine. And then I can make my 12 cups of coffee and, have it on warm during the day. Um, yeah, I mean, if you only drink 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day, those Keurig things are okay. But when you drink more than that, it's just a waste of time and money. Because those little pods, they're not that cheap. They're kind of expensive.
Well, Stephanie, like I saw, so they came out with this, it's like a kind of like a blanket thing to like lose weight. It's supposed to help you like lose weight because that's what I was thinking to myself, because a lot of Americans want to lose weight, right? We're always talking about diets, whatever. I hear it all the time. I want to lose some weight, this and that. And I was thinking, I was like, well, what if there was some kind of like device almost that you could use to like help with weight loss? Because a lot of people struggle with weight loss, and it's not because they just, it's not like I just can't.
What are you talking about? A blanket?
Yeah, it's like a wrap almost.
Oh God, Michelle, you
Yeah,
didn't
no,
buy
it was
it, did
online.
you?
No, I didn't buy it. No, I didn't buy it, but I saw it online.
Because you're not, I mean, you're thin.
Well,
You don't need to.
I was just thinking of like ideas, like invention ideas. Like, what do people want or need that we already don't have? Like, what are
Oh,
some good
Michelle,
ideas?
they've been trying to find ways for people to lose weight for many years.
I did
They've
try.
come up with so many stupid scams and exercise machines and so much bullshit. The way you lose weight is you quit eating so much. Oh, Michelle.
Stephanie's just like, stop eating. Um, what about, let's see. What are some things that you always hear people complain, like people wish that like something was easier, or um what about, I'm trying to think. Well, now they don't even have toll booths anymore. They used to have toll booths, and now it's all they just scan your either your license plate, or if you have an Easy Pass for the throughways. We don't even.
Yeah, see, I mean, we've never had tolls here or anything.
Really?
No, like, I think years ago we had one bridge that, I mean, this was many years ago, one bridge that had a toll until the bridge was paid for. But no, that's one thing in Seattle. We don't have any fees or toll stuff like that.
Yeah, we used to. So we used to, like, if you went on the throughway in New York, um, if you got when you got off, there was a toll booth, and it was a person in there, and then you give them the ticket that you got, and they'd be like, oh yeah, it's however much. And now it's just like cameras. So if you don't have, it's called an Easy Pass. So if you don't have an Easy Pass, it's linked to your bank account.
Right.
They scan your license plate, and just you get the bill in the mail. They just um do it that way, but yeah,
Yeah.
like they have everything that you pay for on your phone now. Like they literally, Stephanie, they're trying this out at one of the stores here. So they have a shopping cart. So you get the shopping cart and you hook up it has like a little pad on it. You hook up your credit card to it and you basically scan everything that you put in your cart. You scan it really quick and then put it in your cart and then you can just leave. You don't have to like go to a cash register.
Yeah, see, I know this checking out your own bullshit now. That's another thing that I can't stand.
Well,
I mean, that's taking jobs away from people. And I don't go to a grocery store to scan my own freaking stuff. I
the
mean,
thing,
leave
no,
that to the
so
employee in the store. That's their job. It's not my job.
Stephanie, I feel that like you know what pissed me off the most is the stores that they don't bag your stuff anymore. Like some stores, like if you especially if
Oh, yeah.
you have to
I don't.
bring your own stuff to like it's like no, like freaking I'm can't like I don't want to bag my own stuff, you know? It's kind of like
Oh yeah,
uh,
I don't go to those stores.
yeah, I don't that much
And
either.
I don't use this. I will use the self checkout if I've got one or two things, but I am not going to stand there
Neither have
and
I. No way. Yeah, right.
yeah, bag my own grocery, scan my own stuff while the worker stands there and does nothing.
Well, the thing is, Stephanie, is if like you said, if I have a couple items and all the lines are long, yeah, I'll check myself out. Like it'll be like,
Right.
okay, like two items, but like if I have like a whole like shopping cart full, like no, I don't want to bag my stuff and everything else.
Hell no.
But I think that's kind of what so like I've seen it set up like this. Like you know how everybody's going to the reusable bags, right? They're trying to
Oh
get
yeah,
away from plastic.
we have to have them here.
So you set up your reusable bags like in the shopping cart, and then that's when you scan the items when you put it in the shopping cart, and then it automatically just checks out to your bank account. You can just walk out of, you don't have to, that's what it is. You you basically put an item in your shopping cart, it scans that, and it automatically just checks into your checking account, and then you just walk out of the store. So that's how that works. Instead of having to put all the groceries on the belt, have the cashier scan it, and to do the payment
Well,
there. So
oh, sorry, Michelle, I'm making some coffee.
it's okay.
Um,
Stephanie was like, I want a coffee so bad. I'm making it. Good for you.
the God, the one thing about that is, I bet they're going to have a theft problem.
Well, that you're right. That is a
Yeah.
concern because with anything, people are going to find ways to try to, but I think what they're doing it in areas where there isn't a lot of theft, that's what they're trying it out in. They're not trying it out everywhere right now. Um,
Excuse me.
so
Well, guess what happened to me the other day? I stole a whole cooked chicken from the deli at the grocery store. Okay, you're not going to believe what happened. This is the craziest shit. I mean, I walked out of the store with it, but I had to go back in and pay for it because I did. I'm not going to steal a chicken. So I go and I check out my groceries. Okay, the chicken is sitting in the basket. Okay, I push my cart. And she's checking me out. She's loading my bags into the shopping cart. The chicken is in the cart. I mean, I didn't see the chicken. The checker must have not seen the chicken because they're fully cooked chickens in a bag that you can get at your deli department. You know what I mean.
yes.
Okay, so I pay for my groceries. I go all the way to my car. I'm out of breath, tired, and I'm putting my bags in the car, and there sits the lonely chicken. I go, what? fuck? I said, what the fuck? How did she not even see this chicken? And then I had to chug back in the store and said, "You forgot to ring up my chicken." And so I go back home. I call my sister. And she goes, "Yes. Why did you even go back?" She said, "I would have just went home and taken the chicken." She said, "The checker never saw it." And I said, "Yeah, but then I would have thought about it all night. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get it out of my head. It would have drove me insane." So, but yeah, I mean, how did that checker even miss that chicken?
I
I
think,
don't know.
well, well, I know when I used to ring out, uh, I was a cashier at a grocery store, and I mean, it didn't happen that often, but there were times when, um, I wouldn't check underneath the car and they would have something, or they didn't say that, and like, especially if it was a busy day where I was just like trying to get people
Right.
like the lines down. Like
Oh
if it
yeah.
was busy, I was just kind of just ringing stuff up like crazy. But another thing is when I was learning produce codes, like I was like, yeah, I know produce, like an apple, an orange. Yeah, I understand it.
Right.
And then when I got to produce and stuff, it was like just a whole world of like different things. Like just when you think you only know like the basics. It's like, I mean,
Right. Oh, I've forgotten pop on the bottom of my cart before. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, checkers have forgotten it. I have forgotten it. And I don't put my pop on the bottom of the cart anymore
yeah,
because I got tired of going back in the frickin' store.
well, it's not like I always appreciated, like it's not like you were intentionally trying to steal. Like
Oh
it's not
no.
like,
Yeah.
so, but like even like grocery stores, any type of store sets aside a certain percentage for theft. So for
Right.
theft, for maybe employees not ringing out stuff, or maybe when they were throwing stuff away and damages, like they didn't scan it out. So it's like all like unknown shrink and you
Right. Well,
so
yeah. It's just it would bother me so bad. I wish it didn't bother me. Hell, I'd walk out with the chicken or the pop. I wouldn't go back in then. I mean, but it would bother me so bad I wouldn't be able to, you know.
this just let's see. Marsha's laughing. Marsha thinks you're hilarious talking about your chicken.
Well, it's just real life shit that happens to me.
What if they made I'm trying to think. What what if they could come up with like a contact lens that could change, like you could put it in your eye and then it could change your vision like drastically. Like, like if as if you're looking like through like bifocals, like you could like say something um to like, okay, like I don't know if I know a lot of people who are nearsighted and farsighted, or people who have like different kinds of, vision issues. And
Right.
wouldn't it be cool if they could make like a contact lens where like you could like see like through binoculars, even like magnifies it like by like 10%.
Oh, that it changes.
Yeah, would you buy that? Like here's Stephanie. Stephanie's sitting out her couch, and then like she wants to like look out her window and like see like 3 miles away. Like would you want that?
Oh, I don't know. The
I think it
problem
would
the problem with me is I wouldn't want to wear contacts. I wouldn't want to put anything in my eye.
well, I mean, I've had contact lenses before, and I've had like the color changing ones.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I have to tell you, like, they are kind of a pain. It's like shoving something in your eye. That's why, like, I kind of steer away from contact lenses. But
Right.
what is cool about them is like it's not on your face. They're kind of just, I don't know. I like it. I don't know. I like it to a certain degree. They were alright. You just pop them in and then you take them off at night. But sometimes it was getting them in my eye. Like I'd have to poke my eye out like for like a couple times till I got it in. It
Michelle, I'm
was
sorry. I'll call you. I'll be right back. I got a call.
okay. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's had contact lenses before, but Marsha, it's hard to get change for a 50 or $100. They do, so PK, they do have bifocal contacts. So what do you think about binocular contacts, PK? I know they have all the color, like you can change the color of your eyes. Let's see. Any other any other ideas? Let's take a look. What what do people want that could make something more easier, like more like streamlined in their life? Hey, you know what? You know what they haven't done? This is what they haven't done, you guys. So, you know how they give you know how you get like notifications? You can set up your phone to give you notifications, and you can hook your phone up to your car even. But I think it would be cool if you could just have certain notifications just on your car without hooking your phone up to your car too. If they could do that some way. Marsha, I bought glasses in October last year. You know what I like about glasses is you're not poking at your eye. First of all, talk about unnatural, like an unnatural feeling. Like, oh, I gotta get this contacted. And, like you're crying, you're poking your eye out, your eye's getting red. It's like, should I be doing this? Like, it's a natural instinct to blink when something's close to your eye, and here you are, like, I gotta keep my eye open to get this thing in. Yeah, it's. Let's see. I'm gonna check. Does anybody watch football? 49ers signed McCaffrey to groundbreaking extension. Let's see. A re- Info a rewind to the last 20-second feature on YouTube. Well, that could actually be a simple thing that they could do. Could put that suggestion in. What about oh, this is for the ladies. Okay. Or men, but I mean, probably mostly for the ladies. What if you could Okay, so what if they made like a plastic mask, like a thin plastic film type of mask that had like preset makeup on it already? So you so it could be like a film almost, right? So you have this instead of like putting the makeup on in the morning, and then having to worry, oh, is, my mascara gonna smear? Like, oh, I have to touch up my makeup. So what if you could get like, let's say you go to this place. So let's say you go to this store, right? A makeup store. And then you put your face. like into this device that could, and then you can choose like what kind of makeup you like. Like if you like blush, like bronzer, don't like bronzer. Um, the color, your skin color, so like the color of your skin. And then it produces these like film sheets that in the morning, all you have to do is, wash your face and then just put like this film that like dissolves in your face, and it's all pre-made, like it's like your pre-made face for the day. What do you guys think about that? I always used to joke, we used to joke around like, oh, Michelle has to put her face on, when you put your makeup on and everything. So for all you ladies who wear makeup, how does that sound? And then you just wash it off at the end of the night. I bet they could do something like that. Go to a makeup store, and they have like the scan machine to like scan the shape of your face. And then you just choose what type of makeup setting you want, and then it produces like this. It could probably be like a thin film like material that you put on your face, and it just kind of like sticks to your face for the day. Small panties and reason. Use a permanent marker. PK. So they actually came out with like you can get. I'm not sure if you know about this, PK, but you can actually get permanent makeup done. Some people have gotten it. Permanent makeup. It's almost like tattoo-ish on your face. But if you don't want something that tattoo-ish, like that permanent, like this would be another good idea. That way, with this, you don't have to mess around with brushes, right? You don't have to clean brushes. It's a fresh thing of quote unquote makeup, but they could so do this. And I guarantee you, people would buy it. Yeah, so if you go to the store, so instead of like looking around the makeup counter, like, oh, I gotta find my shade of this, my shade of that, this and everything else, and then you gotta buy new brushes and different brushes, and you just put your face in this thing, and it just like produces this film, and it's not permanent. Like I said, maybe it just lasts 24 hours, and then at night you just wash it off. But like you've seen those tattoos, you've seen like those wash off tattoos, the semi perm, they're just like sticker things. Well, that's what I'm talking about for like a makeup, for like a full face makeup. Yeah, I remember like the wash off tattoos. Well, that's what I'm talking about, like a wash off makeup face. PK, I worked with some women who have eyebrows tattooed on and eyeliner. Yeah. Yeah, people get the permanent stuff done. So this would be a good alternative if you don't want the hassle and you don't want anything permanent. I think, and like you could sell it for, I don't know, like 100. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you could probably sell them for, but people would buy them because women always. I mean, come on, ladies. Like, I mean, sometimes I enjoy painting my face on, but like I said, it's hard if your skin tone changes. And then let's say you want a different makeup routine, you want to try a different color lipstick. I mean, it could work. Well, a lot of people, they get fake eyelashes put on now too. That's the thing. Some people get the fake ones glued on. Would you try it? Would any of you women try it? And it wouldn't be permanent. So even if, like, let's say you didn't like the result of the product, but like, okay, so here you would go into the makeup store, put your face in this machine so it could get a good like shape of your face, and then there would be a touch screen. Either they could even have it on your phone, so they can even have an app saying like, what style makeup would you want, and then you had a button, and it could make custom make your makeup for you, quote unquote makeup. Let's see. PK. Let's see. Let's take a look. See what else I can come up with. Come on, you guys. Throw out some ideas here. Let's see. Well, we have vacuum cleaners that are robots now. Let's take a look. I'm trying to think. Let's think of like a man's perspective. What could I mean, I know men usually shave, and that, they have to shave their face and stuff, or they don't, whatever, but um and I know that could be a hassle dealing with a shaver, the hair, and everything else. I'm just wondering what kind of device? Unless if you get like laser hair removal. Um, Hold on, you guys. Let's see. Oh, look, it's five. It's $5. Hi, $5. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How about you?
My God. Um, we were just
I
talking
was gonna
about.
try to I was gonna try to comment on some of your discussion, but I think I'm still blocked.
I haven't figured out how to. I'll be honest with you. I try to figure out how to unblock people, and I just can't. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to find somebody who knows StreamYard, because the StreamYard and YouTube could better, because I can't figure out even the list of people who are blocked and how to unblock somebody yet.
How
So
are we gonna take your channel to the next level if you keep me blocked?
let's see. Um, I'll try to figure it out, but like I tried to unblock somebody else, and when I did, when I did unblock somebody else, it was I couldn't get their name. I couldn't find where the names were where people were blocked. So it's just it's just hard. Let's see. DK, hello. DK says hello. PK says hello. Good to see you. Let's see. Inflove wants an app like a dating app, but for finding friends. I think they have a finding friends app for like just friends, but that's
Oh,
a
they
good
have so many of
idea.
those apps for everything imaginable. Farmer meetup, gay and lesbian meetups. I mean, you name it. They got those apps for. I'm sure there's one for just friends.
Yeah. They have to have one somewhere for that, but I just we were talking about cool things inventions, because we were talking about like how they made spaceships, and it's just like they keep on making more and more cool stuff all the time.
I got
Wh-
something for you.
Sure.
So you guys were talking about this, the self scan stuff has been around for a long time now, right? In grocery stores.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, I was in a grocery store, a big chain in the west side of the state, Michigan. It's big in west side in northern Michigan, not on the east side. They don't have this particular chain on the east side like Detroit or anything. And
Hmm.
I went kind of later in the evening, later than I would normally go to the grocery store. And I turned down an aisle, and there's a robot in the aisle. Slowly, it was like in the middle of the aisle, about 5 foot tall, like a futuristic kind of looking robot thing.
Yeah.
And it was scanning all the inventory, like just slowly moving through the aisle. I don't know.
Really?
Has anyone ever seen a robot moving through aisles at a grocery store scanning inventory?
I've heard about robots, but like I've never actually seen a robot in any store yet. But like I told Stephanie, I could just see the problem with like a robot approaching somebody asking if they need help, and like you're like, "Oh, hey, where's this?" And then they give you like they don't hear you correctly and you have to ask them like 5 times, and then people are just getting frustrated like, "I'll just find it myself. Get away." Like, and what would you name the robot too? "Hi, my name is so, how can I help you today?"
Yeah, but it's just like any technology that over the years, I mean, it takes years and years to perfect. I mean, just like self-driving cars, like drones, electric vehicles. I mean, there's always going to be little hiccups at the beginning. I mean, those your early adapters are the ones that are going to, you know, let you know what's up, and they'll make their fixes. And I mean, because I can tell you this, technology isn't going to be moving backwards. It's going to keep moving forward.
Oh, of
I mean,
course. Yeah.
you're going to see probably more and more. I mean, I think, is it Amazon that has some stores now that they don't even have employees, where you just walk in with your phone and just pick out your items and walk out, and it just automatically charges your account.
Well, this is what they're doing at a grocery store here. They have a shopping cart and you hook up there's like a little keypad on the shopping cart
Yep.
and it hooks up to your bank account, and what you do is when you put the item in your shopping cart, it automatically scans it and then um charges your account. Now they're testing it out, and they're testing it in obviously an area where theft isn't really major, because of course everyone's going to try to do something. There's always going to be, a group of people try to, get away with something. But yeah, I'm not sure how well that's working out. I mean, not all the carts are like that, but they're starting to test it now. So we'll have to see
I
how
haven't
that.
seen that, but I doesn't mean that it's not being used out here. I mean, I'm sure it maybe is. I don't go to I usually stick to this one. It's a because their stores are smaller. Like, I don't, you guys probably got Myers and stuff out there. Myers is headquartered in Grand Rapids over here in Michigan.
We
And
don't have a
obviously
Myers
Myers.
out here. I've heard of Myers, but we don't have one around here. But I have heard of that
Really?
grocery store. Yeah, yeah, no, I've heard of that one. We have actually you probably because most of the major grocery chains out here are like Northeast strictly. So you have Tops. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Tops. I don't think there's one in Michigan.
I,
We
I
ha-
I remember when I was living in Cleveland, they had Tops in Cleveland, I believe, at one time.
I
I
believe
believe
no,
that
I
they
think
no
you're
longer
right.
do.
I think Tops is in Ohio. They have Tops, Wegmans, and Wegmans is only Northeast. Well, actually, I think they're starting to build stores in the South, and the furthest south that they've gotten so far is like North Carolina, and they're still building stores. But I think they're, and I don't know what the thing is. Like, I guess these grocery chains like made like contracts with each other on like where you kind of like turf contracts, like where you can build your store kind of thing. Like it's a whole grocery chain thing, but they like even Wegmans, it took them forever to build like grocery stores in New York City. Um, that was just recently within the last five, 5 or 10 years, they were able to open up stores in major cities there because I think some of them just made kind of like monopoly, so making sure that like one wasn't like a monopoly type of thing. But
Right.
yeah, it's like Tops, Wegmans. Oh, we do have an Aldi's. I think Aldi's is everywhere.
All these is everywhere. We
Yeah.
got those out here.
Okay, so you have Aldi's. I'm trying to think. What?
What about Kroger? Is Kroger out there? Have you heard of Kroger?
No, that's south. Yeah, they don't have them. Yeah, they don't have Kroger's out here for some in New York. In New York, I mean, I've been to a Kroger. Like, I went to some. Like, I couldn't believe compared to Wegmans. When I finally started traveling and stuff, I went to like these other grocery stores like Publix, Kroger, um, and they had another one. If anyone lives in Florida, shout it out because it's there was another one out there, and like I believe it was like Florida or Georgia, major grocery chain. I'm like, these still don't compare to like and even like because you know how like they try to compare Wegmans to kind of like Whole Foods, but it's still I don't know. Like we just got a Whole Foods in Rochester a couple years back, but it's like even the prices are decent. So it's like no, it's Publix. No, it's not Publix. I want to say it starts like with an H. But it was a grocery store in the South, and I was like, geez, these places suck. Like I was like throwing stuff around. I'm like, there was either like not enough variety, or they just didn't like carry like half the stuff, or it was just really expensive. And this was before COVID. I mean, now most groceries are expensive anyways, but Piggly Wiggly. Oh, I've been to Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I'm not
I've
sure.
heard of
Like,
Piggly.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've
They
heard of
get.
Is Piggly Wiggly down south too? Isn't that down south or no?
I think so. I think it's South. Harvey's. Yeah, People Watcher. I think it was Harvey's I went into. And I mean, like, that is like, talk about a good business model to have because everyone's always going to need groceries. Even when the pandemic hit, like, the grocery stores were still, people, even the first, what, 3, 4 months, they didn't shut down. It was only like essential things. So like that like what a good business model to even have thought of. That's like a sure thing. Like how sometimes if you're like, "Oh yeah, thinking about starting a business and this and that." And it's like, let's see. South Carolina also has food. Okay, I've been to Harris Teeter. That's the one. Harris Teeter's decent. I've been to Food Lion before. We had a Food Lion not too far. It was about like a couple hours away. Oh, jeez, Marsha. But yeah, so I don't know, we're just talking about what can make things more convenient for people, like just in everyday life. But they've came out with so many things, even with cell phones, because I'm a millennial and so I know how it was before technology was major, and then I was still young enough when it first started coming out to be like to adjust to it. Publix as well.
Think about this. Do you guys have bottle returns in New York? You guys have bottle returns, don't you? Like the 10-cent
Yeah,
returns or whatever.
yeah.
Th- Think about back in the day. I can remember as a kid. This is in Flint, Michigan, going to the grocery store with my dad with a bunch of bottles and back then they used to have glass bottles, right? Like Coke or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the store with bags of bottles and cans. And you know how now they have the machines, right? That you can just put them in the machine and it'll calculate your return or whatever.
Okay.
Do you remember going back then where you had to wait in a designated area for a person, an actual employee, to come up there and count all your bottles and cans. They literally had to go through those sticky ass bags and
Yeah,
count every single bottle and can to give you your deposit back.
I know. Well, even returning with the machines that they do have, um, actually, I think what could be easier if they had some kind of like, you know how like when you put the bottles and cans in the machine, it spins, spins the can or bottle around, scans it, whatever, crushes it, and counts it up for you. But a lot of times, like it feels like, especially if you have like a pretty big bag full of them, you're there forever, and you still have to separate, obviously, the cans, um, plastic, and bottles and stuff. And I'm just wondering, I'm like, well, what if they had like some kind of, you just put it all on a belt, and the belt like automatically just separates everything for you, and then you get your receipt that way instead of dealing with this machine, that machine. And half the time you're spending a lot of those machines break down all the time, and I have no idea why they're they're like that, but I've used those machines and before, and I was just like, this sucks, because in New York you get 5-cent bottle return, but not all states do bottle, actually most states don't do bottle returns. You go basically everywhere and you do not get anything for returning your cans. Let's see. Let's look at one right now. So you
We
get,
don't, Michelle, we don't have bottle return here.
well, I'm checking the states right now. So California, Oregon, and Michigan, you get 10 cents. Connecticut, Maine, Vermont, um, Massachusetts, New York, Hawaii, and Iowa, you get 5 cents. So that's not many states that you get bottle returns for recycling. I think what they were trying to do was give people an incentive, but it's almost like a mandatory incentive to return your bottles because you're charged for it when you buy it. So if you don't bring it back, then you lose 5 cents. So I think they were just trying to get people to recycle in general.
I wonder why other states wouldn't do it. Number one, there's probably a good reason, but I'll tell you what I do in Michigan a lot with mine, just because, like you said, it can be kind of a pain in the ass to have to go use that machine and stuff, even though it's a lot better than having someone to sit there and count them. With my job, I travel so much in like Grand Rapids, Detroit, Flint, Lansing, Kalamazoo. A lot of times there's so many homeless people out there that are waiting. They're either at gas stations or they're especially in Grand Rapids, you get off the off ramps. There's a person at every off ramp, and a lot of times I'll just bag up some of my returns and I'll just give them the bag, and they can go to the gas station and cash them in or whatever. I'll just hand them a bag of 5 or 10 bottles or cans that I've been kind of stocking up, and I'll just, instead of giving them money or what, I mean, they'll get money obviously,
Right.
but
My mother
it's
used to do that. My mother she used to have bags of like bottles and stuff, and then she used to go look for, because we have a strip of like where like homeless people usually hang out, and she'd be like, and they would love it. They would be like, yeah, because like she's like, I don't want to deal with that. My mother would just be like, I don't want to freaking deal with the returns. And yeah, oh yeah, there was one guy, he had a shopping cart always, and it was just like, here you go, and he was like, all right, he'd walk to the store and everything just for the the 5-cent bottle return. Let's see,
oh,
Marsh.
it's a big hustle in Michigan. You see people pushing either grocery carts, like you said, and they'll have they'll go around, literally walk around the city from gas station to gas station or anywhere, going through the little garbage things at the pumps, because a lot of people they'll buy like a single pop, like at a gas station when they're filling up at the gas station, and they'll get a couple bottles or cans empties in their car rolling around on the floor or whatever, and you just
Yeah.
want to get rid of them, right? So you just you put them in those gas, and then you start seeing people pushing carts, people with a big garbage bag full of cans, walking around, and yeah, it's a hustle, man, for people. I mean, obviously you got to collect a shitload to make any money, but
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah, you gotta
I,
like to make like $10. Marsha says some bums are nasty and demanding. Well, I have to tell you what, Marsha. Working in the customer service and with the public for years, for a very long time, I would say that's a small percentage of, I mean, like, yeah, it's like saying, I mean, I had nasty people at all income levels with nasty and demanding. I mean,
Exactly.
I've seen it all.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
I've seen wealthy people. They're pretty demanding, and they're not always nice.
They're the
So,
worst.
so I mean, I don't know. We don't really have. I gotta tell you, where I live, and not saying that um the city here is rich by any means, but we really do a good job like not having a major homeless population. And I don't know whether it's government programs. I'm not sure like exactly, but you see some like here, here and there, you'll see somebody, but it's not as bad as you would think, especially, in some of the areas. Well, I know there was one gentleman. He was homeless, and the community kind of just like took care of this guy. Like I would see him all the time, and I told him once, I was like, you know, as long as you're not causing any issues, it's not a big deal. Like whatever. And he didn't, but like people just threw money at him like all the time. They'd be like, "Oh, here, I want to buy a gift card for him." Like he would have enough money for like they would literally just come up to me like all the time, like, "Here, this is for that guy over there." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And like before you knew it, he had like new sneakers and everything else. I mean, I don't know his whole story, but it's like around here, it seems like if somebody's really like somebody will come and like pick them up or try to help out or whatever. Let's see. Marsha, people don't give a FF about life, dude. Oh, I don't know. So Stephanie, have you thought about any other futuristic projects? We have Stephanie's new coffee maker. It's going to be hooked up to an Alexa device. You're going to have to get like one of those little Alexa devices. I could see Stephanie using one. They're
Oh no.
cheap now. They're not as
Yeah,
expensive.
they're cheap. I do not want an Alexa device. What the hell?
Stephanie,
What am I going to do? Sit here and talk to it?
stop. No, you could like. There's good features like, "Hey Alexa, can you call my phone because I lost it."
Oh, God. I can talk to Google. All I need is Google on my phone.
Alexa, can you please, get my robot vacuum cleaner going? Okay.
Uh,
People.
oh, yeah, no. Alexa, what time is it? Oh, God. Please, Michelle. I sit on my ass enough.
Well, you know
Oh, my
what's no, no,
God.
here's the cool thing about the Alexa devices is you can your pictures will link up from your phone on your Alexa device, and they'll they'll display your pictures like every so often they'll change the picture. So that's kind of cool. Like I like looking at it sometimes and like seeing different pictures of people and things and places. So that's neat. Instead of having, pictures hanging up on your walls everywhere. And I'm sure you have some pictures hanging up on your walls of,
Oh,
family
I have
members.
pictures everywhere. I love pictures. People don't do pictures anymore. I've got pictures of my family and all the kids and uh No, I don't need Alexa to show me some damn pictures. Who, I don't know who's on the panel, Michelle.
It's $5 Tommy is on the
Oh,
panel.
hello, Tommy.
Hello, Stephanie. It's my pleasure to be on panel with you two distinguished individuals.
Oh, thank you. I heard you're from Michigan. Are you from Detroit?
No, I live on the west side of the state, I'm like 20 minutes from Lake Michigan, over by Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay. I know where you're at. Yeah, I'm in Seattle. We have a bad homeless. Downtown Seattle has a bad homeless population. I was watching a YouTube channel, and we are ranked in the top 10 in the United States for the most homeless people. I think we were like number 3. It's gotten really bad now. I'm about 30 miles outside of Seattle, so my little town. We have a few, wandering around, but it's not too bad. But yeah, I guess I haven't been downtown Seattle in quite a few years, but I guess it's really bad down there. Um, so I don't know what they're gonna do. Yep.
There's usually not much they can do. They usually move them out of one area and they just move into another area. I mean, it's just kind of a vicious
Right.
circle.
Yeah. Yeah. They're under, I guess, all the freeways and stuff downtown, and they tried that tiny home. Uh, they built a community of tiny homes for homeless, I know, a year or two ago, but I don't think that went over very good. So I don't know. But we have, like I said, we have I see some sometimes, and if I got a buck or two, and I'll give them a buck or two sometimes.
So Stephanie,
Yeah, the hard part about that is like I don't carry cash anymore. I mean, I never carry since like COVID and stuff. I never have cash on me, so
No, I
kind of like
know.
I was saying, that's why I
Yeah,
do the
most
bottle
people.
because
Yeah, most
at least give
people
them
don't.
something.
Yeah, most people don't have cash anymore. You're right. A lot of times I don't either. It's all going pretty soon. I think the cash is going to be gone.
well, they were doing cryptocurrency for a while. They were doing
What?
all the they were they, they were doing like like Bitcoin, and they had all those things going on. I never
No, it's
got
still
into
going
that.
on. The bottom just about dropped out, and now it's bounced up. Bitcoin actually went from like 67, 68,000 way down to like under 20,000, and right now it's over 70,000. I was just looking at my Robinhood account because I got some. You can buy crypto through Robinhood, like where you buy stocks and stuff.
All right.
Yeah, no, there's people that have made a lot of money on that crypto. It's still a big thing. It's right now it doesn't have a lot of practical uses, but there's a lot of these gas stations and stuff like in big metro areas that actually have Bitcoin ATMs. So you can go on there and you can, like, if you want cash, you can enter in your account information, and based on how much Bitcoin you have or other crypto, it can spit out cash for you if you want to cash it in or whatever.
So is it
But
kind
yeah,
of
those
is it like this? Is it like a stock then? It's kind of like a stock currency where it changes the currency.
so the value can go up and down. So the
Okay.
way it works is the very first there are some business establishments. Now this hasn't caught on wide stream by any stretch, but there are some big business establishments that will take crypto for payment. So let's say a business takes crypto for payment, they can immediately cash it, exchange it over to cash, like the US dollar. But the other thing too is, I mean, you could get paid for something and hang on to it as crypto, and the crypto could could double, and then boom, all of a sudden, someone that paid you, let's say, $10 for an item, next week that money could be all of a sudden worth $20. So there's a lot of unknowns, to be honest, and it's real risky. Like, I would never suggest, with any of that kind of stuff, you never want to invest any more than what you can afford to lose in case the bottom drops out. But think about this: when it dropped down to like $15,000 like a year ago, had you invested $1,000 at that time, that money right now, that $1,000 would be worth $4,000. I mean, there's not a lot of investments you can turn $1,000 profit into $4,000 like you could. But again, at that point, when it was $15,000, it could have dropped all the way down to nothing, and you could have lost your $1,000. So, and it's kind of hard to figure out what kind of drives the market. It's almost like a collectible, to be honest with you, like baseball cards, or like, I don't know, maybe jewelry or something, gold, silver. It's almost kind of like that type of commodity.
Interesting. I'm just trying to. So, Stephanie, what do you think about the makeup mask for the ladies?
The what?
Okay, so tell me what you think about this idea. If you were to, let's say you were to go to a drugstore, a makeup store counter, and then you stick your face in this machine so it gets the shape of your face. And then you
Okay.
press a button, right? So they have like different styles of makeup, right? Depending on how you like your makeup. So
Right.
you hit a button and then it produces like this film, but it has like all the makeup in the areas that you wanted it. You put it on your face, it kind of like just disintegrates in your face for the day, and then you wash it off at night. What do you think about that idea?
Is that a true? Is that, do they really have that, or are you suggesting it?
I'm just making it up. Yeah. Like, what do you think? If do you think people would buy it instead of having to buy
Oh,
makeup?
yes. Women? Of course
Yeah.
they would. Of
I,
course they would. Well, because I'm old and I don't wear makeup anymore, but if I was young and they had something like that, oh, you bet. That's the one thing about women. Anything that has to do with something that you think you're going to look better, women will buy it. I
yes.
mean, we're suckers when it comes to that crap.
I know
Oh,
makeup and brushes and everything. It's expensive.
Oh, I
Just that
used to
alone.
spend I used to spend so much money on makeup,
So did I. I used to
cosmetics
too.
and
Yeah.
creams and hair products, and no, women are bad.
People
They're suckers.
people
Yep.
would be like, even my husband, he would be like, "Oh, but she's putting on her face. She's putting on her paint. She's painting her face right now." Like, but so I was just thinking
Oh
if you could
yeah.
come up with something easier instead of having to, you'd have to wash the brushes that you use for your face and then all of that. Just get rid of all of that
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
But I'm sure the makeup companies would be pissed because if it actually ended up working correctly and people did start buying it, all the like Maybelline, um, all of those, L'Oreal, even the higher end ones, they would get pissed that you buy it
Well,
like
no,
Sephora.
what would happen is like what always happens. Uh, uh, when it'll first come out, it'd be really expensive. And then other companies would copy it. And then the price would get lower and lower and lower. That's what happens all the time with everything. Anytime a new something comes out, it's always really expensive. And then all you have to do is wait a while because other companies will come out with their versions and the price will go down.
Well,
So,
I mean, because you figured they've made stuff like like so you could buy, wigs, you can get extensions for your hair and all. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, well, what about makeup? Like, they don't really have an alternative to makeup, then buy a bunch of different products
Right.
and brushes and stuff. They've never made it like easier in any way. You still have to apply makeup, except for like we talked about permanent makeup, and people do get permanent makeup, but you can't get everything permanent. Like tattoo, it's almost like tattooed on you.
Oh, the tattooing makeup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
really up for
still not,
that, but
yeah, that's tattooing though. It's still not actual makeup. I
right.
mean, it's tattooing. So, you get your lips tattooed red. Well, it's still not going to look like lipstick. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that tattooing makeup is stupid.
It's stupid.
And you tattoo your eyebrows. Well, what if you wanted to change your
Yeah, I know.
frickin'
Well,
eyebrows?
that's my whole thing. Like
Yeah,
it's something's if it's permanent, like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
permanent. I don't know. Do you have any tattoos, Stephanie?
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I. So I wouldn't get like makeup tattooed on myself either.
No, I heard that it hurts too bad, and so I no, I never had any desire. But I'm a baby boomer, so I don't. Back in my day, the only people that, gosh, I'm trying to think, the people that had tattoos. I didn't know any people. I don't think with tattoos.
I know people with
I
tattoos.
think it was just like the motorcycle guys and shit like that back
Well,
in the day.
I mean, now what it is, so here's the thing. A lot of people that have tattoos, and you probably don't know, you just can't see them. A lot of people who, um, a lot more people have tattoos than you realize. You probably just can't. They're just on their bodies where,
Well,
they're wearing a
yeah.
t-shirt and
Well,
pants and a
yeah, and what
bikini.
happens is these old I've seen pictures of old women with tattoos, and our skin starts sagging, and so does your tattoo. It
That's what
looks horrible on old people.
I went to a tattoo parlor when I was old enough, and then I sat there and I was like, it wasn't even like I wasn't even scared or afraid of like the pain. That wasn't why I didn't get it. I just couldn't figure out something that I wanted tattooed on my body for the rest of my life.
Right? I know
I sat
exactly.
there and and
Yeah,
I
I
looked
know.
and it just didn't seem right for me, I
Right.
mean, some people get tattoos, but I was just like, yeah, like nothing seemed to it didn't seem like a good idea, but I did go to a tattoo place and I was like, "Oh, let's check this out." But yeah, like the most I've ever gotten, like I want to say, well, I got my nose pierced when I was a teenager, and then I was like, oh, I didn't really like it that much. So my Marsha, my tattoo is age spots. Marsha's tattoo. This I used to tell people, I'm like, my body's naturally marked with stuff. I don't need to add any more. I used to tell people all the time. I used to be like, yeah, like I don't need to like put anything else on there.
Right. I got enough
You have
scars
natural
on my
tattoos,
body.
right, Marsha?
Tommy, do you have any tattoos?
I actually have a couple, but I got them years ago when I was just a youngster, and
Uh-huh.
I mean I don't regard them or anything. Like I got one on my arm of the Old English D, which is like the Detroit Tigers baseball team. That's their kind of symbol, like an Old English D, which is
Oh, okay.
like
Yeah.
everybody in Michigan kind of knows that kind of thing. But hey, I do have a question. I'm gonna jump off here for you ladies talking about makeup and stuff. So I'm curious. So Michelle, kind of knows what I do, and so we're doing a campaign, Michelle, for Michigan has so the Department of Health and Human Services has a home visiting program for first time parents. Like this is probably like one of the best programs they have, I would assume, because obviously, the way these kids grow up now, it probably helps to have somewhere to kind of walk them along when they're first time parents, and you got a lot of single moms out there and stuff. So they have us so the venues that we're putting the posters up at for this campaign are mostly hair salons and nail salons, like in the common area when you walk in. And a lot of them are in like inner city areas, where we put these up at. And I'm always amazed when we do these campaigns at like nail salons. First off, these nail salons are freaking everywhere, every corner, it seems like.
Yeah, yeah,
And
they are.
they're all pretty much Asian run, so owned by Asians.
Yeah,
And they are I'm always amazed because number one, they're always busy. Some of these places I go into, like in Detroit, and these are in pretty rough areas, they may have 6 or 8 or 10 technicians, and every time I go in there for a different campaign, everyone in that place has a customer.
yeah.
So I'm always curious and anybody in the chat can answer this. Do most women go and have their nails? I guess men too could answer this. I see men in there too getting their feet done and stuff. Do most women go and have their nails and toes done on a regular basis to one of these places? How expensive is it? And yeah, go.
So
I'm just real curious because it seems like these places are raking in the dough on this stuff.
They really do. So when I was getting my nails and my toes done all the time, you can easily pay like $60, $60, and you have to go back and get them redone every couple weeks. So they only last about like 2 weeks, and then you have to go back in there. So that's how that works. That's why they rake in so much money, is because once you get them done, they obviously grow back, and you have to get them changed. So yeah, people spend probably, I would say, what, like $100 a month for that, for just your nails and your toes and everything. Would
Yeah.
you say
Is
that's
it just
something?
a convenience factor to go in and have someone do it for you, or is it? Or
Well, yeah.
are they just that much better at doing it than what you would be doing it yourself?
Well, the thing is so, okay, like if you were to do them yourself, like they have press-on nails that are pretty decent that you could do them fast, and it's a lot cheaper too. And they're still almost just as good, but getting them professionally done, they have like the cement glue, and it really gets in there. So for you to actually break a nail, it will hurt you to break a nail. Like it will rip your whole nail off, because that's what they do. They use, like, I call it cement stuff, when they cement the
Yeah.
actual nail onto and they
Well,
press it on.
the whole thing is long nails have become so fashionable now, Tommy. Okay, so all these women and girls want to have these long nails. Um, a lot of women can't grow nails. Now, I've never had to get my nails done because I can actually grow long nails. So I've always done my own nails. Now, a pedicure, especially now that I'm old, I cannot bend over anymore and do my own feet. So I have to go in, and it's $35 here just to get a pedicure, and then you've got to give them a tip. So just for my feet is $40 a month. Um, and that's just now if I added nails and wanted to go
Yeah.
that route, yeah, close to $100 if you went in to get both of those things done. But these women nowadays, and it's not just the young women, these old women. I mean, they're all walking around with nails that are 3 inches long. I mean, how do you wipe your butt? I mean,
I
come on.
I
I
used
just I
Right.
I don't get it, Tommy. No, I've never wanted to have those long
Stephanie,
nails.
you got
What?
to get a bidet. That That helps.
Oh, yeah. No, but I think it's just you feel pampered, Tommy. Women are so funny. Anytime, you have something done, like your hair or your nails or, stuff like that, women like to feel pampered. And we will pay any money if we think we're going to look better, women will pay the price. You know what I mean? Um, they're charging now. I used to get my hair done, blonde for years.
It's so
But now,
expensive to be blonde. It
well,
is the most
now,
expensive color.
yeah, now if I wanted to go blonde again, it'd be like $150 at the beauty shop just to go in to have my hair colored. I mean,
Stephanie,
it's
at,
ridiculous.
at mine it's 300 and like I
Oh,
can't afford it. Like I told
is
her, I
that
said,
how much it is now? Oh my God.
yeah. She told me, she's like, I'm like, look, I was just like, I'll see when I could come back, but like
Oh
she
my God.
yeah, because of like what they have to do for the blondes is different than just like most
Oh, I
colors.
know.
There's more
Yeah,
of a process to it
right.
to get it
Yeah.
to look right. That's the most
Oh my
difficult hair color.
God. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it, but it is. It's the most and then you have to buy a certain shampoo to use, and then it's like you could walk out of there and it's just like
Oh,
crazy.
wow, Michelle. I didn't realize, it's been a long time since I've been to the beauty, you know, uh, for a color. So,
Yeah,
it
it's
probably is
expensive.
300 now. My God. Wow.
But with that, I could let it could last for like 6 months.
No, well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
If you
But
don't, you know
still.
what I mean? Like if she does a good job, like that $300 is once every 6 months, not like once a month or anything.
Yeah, but shit, a 20% tip would cost you $60 tip.
Yeah, it does cost a lot in tip. Well, no, that's like
Damn.
300. It's like $300 with tip, Stephanie.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I'm glad I'm gray now.
That's just like,
Shit.
well,
Wow.
Hey, you know what?
Unbelievable.
Another big thing I see in the inner city is, and I've known this for years because of some different work I've done over the years when I was in Cleveland a lot, is these wig stores. Talk about these places, especially in African American communities. These wig stores are everywhere, and where they come in and get. I guess they're extensions. I don't know exactly what it is, and we use some of these locations because a lot of times they'll have like a little salon area too where they'll do braids and stuff, or they may. I don't know if they may even weave the hair in the extensions, but
there's
have you
yeah,
guys
there's
seen these wig stores around town?
so so here's the deal. I've seen you can buy cheap wigs, you can buy more expensive wigs, even with extensions. There's different ways to put. I have extensions. You can get clip-in extensions, which you take in and out every day. That's about like $300 for 2 packs that you need, and they only last you about like 3 to 6 months. And then you have extensions that you could tape into your hair, which I wouldn't recommend. And then they have like the ones that you sew into your hair, and those cost about like $1,000 to get done. And I mean, they have um, extensions are awesome, and a lot of white women get extensions done, but people don't realize it because it looks so
Really?
natural. Yes, you don't even realize it because it looks so natural. I used to wear my extensions in, and people would always say, who knew me, they'd be like, "Did you do something to your hair? What's going on?" Because all of a sudden my hair, like the length of my hair was longer. And they're like, I
Oh,
wouldn't even
yeah.
tell
And
that
it,
it's fake hair, like all the time. You can
yeah.
get away with it, and most of the time they don't. And I know a lot of white women, but it's
Oh, yeah.
expensive. It's more expensive than the black hair salons, and I don't know exactly why because I'm not sure if it's the hair that you use, but if it's human hair, you can treat it like human hair. So you can style it like just like regular hair. Um, the same kind of consistency. But with the clip-in extensions, you you can't really touch it as much as if you got them sewn in, because the clip-ins, like, they'll move around. Like if you touch, if you play with your hair, whatever, they'll move around. You got to take them out every day. But it only takes about 10-15 minutes to put them in once you know what you're doing.
Right. I mean, oh yeah, because I mean, when you see, and a lot of the women on TV too, I mean, nobody has that much hair.
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
you see those
uh,
celebrities and
you
stuff?
can tell that they've got extensions because my God, it's like, oh my God, look at how much hair she's got. I mean, it's like, I've seen YouTube videos too of women, this beautiful, gorgeous, thick, long hair, and then they take their extensions out, and you go, "Oh my God!"
What a
You know,
difference, right? Yeah,
you
people would say
couldn't
that to
even
me.
tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the,
crazy.
because some people would say stuff to me like, "Why do you wear the, like this and that?" And I'm like, "I like doing it, I just like, so you get both, you get, um, like I got hate for it, especially because I'm Caucasian. I guarantee you it wouldn't be like, it was probably more, but like, oh yeah, I used to get, you know, hate from some people. But the thing is once you find out, a lot of it's not as uncommon as
Oh,
you
not
would
at
think. You just
all.
don't realize it. Like I
Right.
worked with women who had the sew-in extensions, and I couldn't tell. And I'm a
Oh, I
woman, and I
know. You
look at that
can't
stuff, and
tell.
like I wouldn't, if they didn't tell me, like I wouldn't have known. It
Yeah,
looks just like human hair. It looks like just
you
anybody's
can't tell. I
head of
know.
hair.
Crazy.
So there you go, Tommy. There's your answer with hair salons and
Yeah, I hope no one like popped in like late and they hear me talking about nails and hair and they'd be like, "What the hell?" And then get the full context of why I was. I'm more interested in the financial side, like how much money these places are raking in. Just because, like I said, they're so busy, man. Especially those. I'll tell you another thing about the nail salons. I'm gonna jump off here. Those Asians are fearless. I'm like,
Hmm.
so when I go to Detroit, like you go to a gas station in Detroit, and every single one of them has bulletproof glass when you go inside the store. All right,
Oh,
those
really?
eight, those. Oh yeah. Every single place has bulletproof glass, and
Wow.
even some of the city burbs that are right on the edge of Detroit will have bulletproof glass in the gas stations and like liquor stores and party stores. You go to
Wow.
those you go to those nail salons, and well, here's the other thing too. Like if you go to we do barber shops. A lot of the barber shops in Detroit, you can't just walk in. They got to buzz you in at the front door. Like they're just not going to let anybody walk in. Again, this is. I mean, there's certain areas that are more. Just like any city, right? Certain areas are more dangerous than others.
yeah.
Those nail salons, they're wide open, and I'm pretty sure it's probably a pretty big cash business. And I
Right.
never hear of those places getting robbed. I never hear of those places getting robbed. And you can walk right in, and obviously
Huh.
they got to have a certain amount of interaction, so they can't. It's not like a gas station. I don't know.
Right.
It just always interests me that and I'm telling you, some of these places are in bad areas that I've been
Wow.
to before, and it always amazes me that they just have no fear
They're
of
not
getting.
wrong.
They have a couple nail salons here where it's almost like a factory. Like there's literally like 50, 60 stations going at once, and it's you're right. Anything when it comes to women spend lots of money on how they look. If you have money,
Oh, yeah.
like you're spending a good chunk of it, like even makeup. Like even if I was to go to a drugstore to buy cheap makeup, it's still like, I don't know, I could easily spend like at a cheap store, I could spend like $150 easily. That would probably last me like 3 months maybe on makeup alone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's the cheap stuff. That's not going to Sephora and probably spend double that with the more expensive.
Oh
But
God, I know. I used to spend I mean, I would go to the Nordstrom's and buy all my cosmetics. I mean, my face makeup alone was $40. I mean, but
right.
then of course that's when I was working and had a lot of money. Um, but yeah, I used to. Oh, I must have spent. I don't know. Well, thousands of dollars. I mean, my God, it was just so stupid. I wish I had that money now. Now that I'm
Right.
retired, I look back of it's just ridiculous. But like we said, women will spend if they think they're going to look better. They will spend the money.
Men can, this is the thing, men can spend like, get a haircut for like $10, right?
Right.
You could go into like a bar, you get, nice and shaved for like, $10 to $30. And that lasts them probably like a couple weeks, I would guess. But like, yeah, women's stuff, it's expensive. It really
It's
is.
expensive to be a woman and keep yourself up, man, compared to a man. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, a man.
Isn't it nuts?
What women do, like even even like just like shaving products, like everything else, it's expensive. Like they have they have creams that you can use. It's a whole
It's a racket.
it's a lot.
Hey, I got to jump off here. It was good talking to you guys. Michelle, do your magic and see if you can get me unblocked so I can comment instead of having to jump on. Not that I don't mind jumping up here and
All right, I'll see what I
shooting the
can
shit,
do.
but
I'll see what I can do. Well,
all right,
I'll figure it
ladies.
out.
Okay, we'll see you
All right,
later.
ladies. Have a good
Bye
night.
bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Is he blocked?
He's blocked, but the
Did
thing
I
is,
block him? I'm the
I
only
don't
one with the wrench.
I don't know. Well, a couple people have wrenches, but like I
Oh,
went to somebody else got blocked once, and I tried to look on YouTube, and I couldn't figure out where the list was of who's blocked and how to unblock people. So I gotta sit down with YouTube and the app and figure all that out. Yeah, because I went to look another time to unblock somebody else, and they were unblocked. So I don't know.
huh.
Yeah, Stephanie. So wouldn't that be awesome to like come up with that like kind of like film thing that you could put on your face and it's the full
Oh,
face of
yeah.
makeup that you'd want?
I wish I could come up with a product for women. Oh my God, you could make a lot of money.
Because women do. Like that's why, you know, it's just weird. Like I don't know hardly any women that don't wear any makeup. They don't change their hair color or do anything with their hair, their nails, whatever. Like,
Right.
and it's
Just, yeah. I just, I don't know. I just quit wearing makeup probably a couple years ago.
well,
Um,
well,
but
my mother actually never wore makeup, and I used to always call her a natural beauty. Well, she actually was really pretty without makeup, but like she was the no makeup, and then here she had a daughter who's like fake hair, freaking, buying tons of makeup. Like my one sister, she doesn't wear any makeup and she doesn't really do a whole lot with her hair. So we're kind of the opposite, but where I was more of the like, I want to do my hair and nails and
I
makeup.
know. Well, that's funny you said that, Michelle, because my mother never wore makeup. She wore lipstick though, and so when my sister and I became teenagers and started wearing all this makeup, then my mother started wearing it.
Yeah, like my mother would just wear maybe some foundation, like cream, face foundation, but that was usually the extent of her. And then here I was. I want eyeliner, mascara, eyeshadow,
Oh,
bronzer,
me too.
blush, like five different foundations, like freaking like I would I would always,
Oh
usually
yeah,
like to paint
me
my face. I
too.
don't.
My husband used to call me the painted lady.
Would he tell you, are you painting your face now? And you'd be like,
Yep, yep. I wouldn't go anywhere without makeup for years.
I have to paint my face on really quick. I mean, I don't think the older that I've gotten, I don't wear as much, but I still like to wear makeup, especially if I go out somewhere, I'm doing something, like
Right,
um whatever, because like my husband, like he doesn't give a shit if I wear makeup or not. He's like, I don't even know why you wear makeup, like this and that.
right.
Like he was always kind of like, you know, downing stuff, and I was just like, I love this stuff. Like,
Well, it's for yourself. Yeah, I
right,
loved
right.
it too. Oh my God. Hmm.
But yeah, it was just like I know, yeah,
Yeah,
I know women who don't wear a lot of makeup, but the majority of women at least wear some makeup on their skin or do something with their hair, whether it's dyeing it or
right.
whatever else. I mean, like I said, like I've seen older women like wear wigs and stuff, and honestly, with the older women that I've seen, I didn't even know that they were wearing a wig. Like, I mean, yeah, did I find it odd that somebody who's 80 years old has a full head of hair? A little bit, but
Right.
honestly, I couldn't tell. Like I couldn't see where it was fake. So I mean, there's ways you
Yeah.
can get around it.
I hope I don't lose my hair because I've tried on wigs and they bother me so bad.
Really?
Um,
Well,
oh yeah.
I was just saying, like, I never had any issues with wigs. The extensions take a little bit more to get used to. Even there's some extensions, they even made an extension to where it's just like one major, like they call them wefts. So wefts that you put in your hair, you put it on like the base of your head, and it's a thick layer just to add like volume, and you can't tell because once you put the top, like the crown part of your hair down and cover it, you can hardly tell.
Yeah, but then you'd have to match the color.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, right. I mean, like
Yeah,
you would have to get a color match, but I mean,
yeah,
if you go for like let's say you have highlighted hair and then you have highlighted extensions as well. And if you go
right.
online, they do have some pretty decent highlighted extensions, but I used to do most of it myself because to get them like sewn in, it's expensive, Stephanie. Like that's really
Oh
expensive
yeah,
because it takes a while, but it lasts and you can have them in your head for like 3 to 6 months and you can do whatever you want with them too because it's human hair.
right.
You can curl it.
But
Or
God, I wonder, if you could feel it. I mean, I know that would bother me. I'm just so weird about, and I'm always warm, so that's why, wigs. I mean, I get so hot, and then since I've gotten older, I like, well, my hair is like probably down to the bottom of my neck, but I can't have it any longer. Uh, it bothers me now. It's so weird how you change, Michelle.
well,
Uh,
I mean, I've seen a lot of older women rock short hairstyles, like
yeah,
I've seen some pretty cool like when I go out and I've been at places, I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, like even if you like short hair, you know, and like I said, there was a whole trending thing called, um, it was granny gray. Everybody wanted gray hair. The young kids, everyone was dyeing their hair gray. Everybody loved it. Like, and
Uh-huh.
it was a major fashion thing for a long time. Well, like I even say, like some people can pull off gray better than other people, and I think that has to do with your skin tone. So if you have more of like a, they used to, so with Um, so with skin tone, either you have like a pinkish pigment to your skin tone if you're white, you know, if you're white. So like
Right.
you look at your veins and whatever color your veins are, that's how you're supposed to pick your foundation and your hair color. So like with hair colors, we know you could be ashy or golden or neutral when you go to
Uh-huh.
pick like a hair dye. And you should base that on what your skin tone is. Have you ever seen somebody and they had a hair color and you're like, it just doesn't look right, you know? And it's probably because of the tone of the hair color, not necessarily the hair color itself. When I used to when I used to dye hair and have to get like bottle, you know, and do all the mixing and everything, like you really gotta, it makes a difference on how just the overall presentation looks.
Right. Yeah. Cause see, right now, I let my hair grow out from blonde, and now my hair and my natural color is mousy brown, I call it.
So that's like
But
a
now,
7A.
yeah,
That
now
would be
my hair
7A.
color is like a gunmetal gray. It's not that pretty gray hair, that pretty light gray
It's
hair.
like the darker, like a,
It's like the darker gray.
okay.
And I've always been a blonde, and so I'm thinking about, I should just go and get my hair all done that pretty light gray color and be done with it. Um, but not if it's $300. I'm not.
Well, that's just the one plate. I mean, there's probably like a cheaper, like there's probably, you could probably, like, if
I
you,
don't want to get that blue hair though. You know how old
right.
people get
Oh, I
that
know.
blue. I should maybe try to do it myself.
See, I could take a look at it because I used to dye hair all the time, but like, if it would depend on how many levels. I mean, yeah, like I would
Right.
definitely have to take a, like before I could even suggest or say how much it's gonna, anything would cost, like because the gray, I mean,
Or all white
probably
would be
need,
pretty
huh?
too. All white hair, that would be pretty.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
probably need bleach though. So you would
Yeah.
probably have to, you would probably, I'm guessing, bleach and get like a gray hair color after it to use like a toner. You need like a gray toner. But
Yeah. Right.
yeah, I did hair before and like coloring, and it's definitely like, so if you take a look on your veins, usually on your wrist and your arm, so
Uh-huh.
they're either green or purple. And that
Mine are
means
blue.
they're they're blue. So blue is kind of like leaning towards purple. So what that means is that your skin tone is more cool. You have a more cooler skin tone, which is
I see.
when you go to pick out your foundations, you see on the bottle like cool or like
Oh
warm.
yeah, yeah. I
It could
remember
be,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it could be like a beige, but like you'll see like a cool beige or a warmer beige. And that's why
Yeah.
sometimes when you see women and like something just looks a little off, it's usually probably they picked either the wrong foundation or the wrong hair color. Not that
Right.
they don't look, they could probably still look good, but like something just doesn't seem.
Well, see this picture I used, this was about 10 years ago. Now that color, I did that myself.
Well, that
That
looks
blonde.
good.
Yeah, it turned out, yeah, I did that myself. And like I said, I haven't dyed my hair blonde now probably for about couple years now. But yeah, I was doing it. I was doing it myself. Um, because I didn't want to spend the money anymore.
No,
And
I
it,
don't.
it turned out pretty good. I mean, I was happy with it.
I think it looks good for, especially with blonde. Like I said,
Yeah,
blonde is
yeah,
expensive and
I
hard.
got lucky. Can't remember what one I started using. Can't remember what it was, but
Yeah, I was
uh,
about to say because it doesn't look like it looks pretty golden blonde. You know, it
yeah,
doesn't look like you like I've done it to my own hair to try
uh-huh.
to achieve blonde. It's came out red before, like
Oh, I
it's
know.
came out
Yeah.
orange. Like I'm
Yes,
like, you
orange.
gotta be
Oh
kidding.
God, I know.
You have to be kidding me. Like, what am I gonna do? And I have to go to work. I have like orange hair, and I'm just like,
Oh,
what
I
is there?
know.
Blonde is definitely, it takes more of a process to achieve um, a good color like
Yeah.
that. We have,
Yeah. Yep, it sure does.
let's see, Marsha. There's not many people talking in the chat tonight. That's okay. You guys don't have to. You guys don't have to say anything. We're probably boring them with our beauty,
Our
our beauty
topic.
tips. Yeah,
Our topic.
makeup and
Well,
and
yeah, we can change to a different topic.
let's see. Um, let's take a look here. I'll do a Google search. I'll do a Google search stuff. Let's see. We talked about the Boeing, the spacecraft. Oh, I don't know if you have a Trader Joe's but Trader Joe's is another grocery store, and they came out with mini tote cooler bags.
Oh yeah,
So
we have Trader Joe's here.
oh, you have Trader Joe's? Okay, well, we have a Trader Joe's here as well. I forgot about that grocery store. We were talking about grocery stores. Um, let's see. They have a new cooler bag, which so I I keep drinks in my car because
Uh-huh.
when I'm making deliveries and stuff, like sometimes I'll just keep drinks, like just in case if I want like um a water or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I've actually found they have these like mini styrofoam coolers where if you put like some ice packs in it, you can keep those cool for the whole day in your car. But I haven't tried like a cooler bag. Maybe if I put them in a cooler bag, they would stay cold
Yeah,
all
you
day.
need one of those. Yeah.
Red Raider said, I have no idea what that is. He's being weird. Red Raider's like, yeah, I'm just going with it tonight. But yeah, Trader Joe's came out with new cooler bags, which is good, especially if you get groceries and you're not going home and in the summertime. When so they did some kind of study, right, where they check the temperature of inside of your car during the summer. If it like sits out a certain period of time, it can get up to like 120 in your car, even if it's like
Oh, I
80, 90
know.
degrees outside.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, it's so dangerous for kids and animals
Red
and old
Raider.
people.
Yeah, but that's a good idea. Let's see, what else is trending on Google? Let's see. Google. Mm. Oh, a volcano erupted.
Where?
in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's take a look at this.
You know, they always say that our Mount Rainier, uh, that's going to blow someday.
Yeah, it shot up ash 3 miles in the sky.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
That thing was looking to erupt. That's yeah, you don't really hear about volcanoes. That's usually not a pretty common thing. I
Have
can't
you ever
imagine.
seen those videos on YouTube of those tsunamis they have over there?
Oh, I've seen those before too. The
Oh my
tsunamis.
God. How terrifying is that?
I can't like I don't know. I couldn't
I've watched some of those and I thought, oh my God.
I couldn't imagine like being near any of that. Like I said, I witnessed a tornado one time,
Uh huh.
and I am okay with never seeing another tornado again. Personally,
Uh huh.
and I've been in tropical storms before, but no major hurricanes, and even those, I mean, yeah, it's windy, but it's not really that intimidating. Like you just go inside and like obviously as long as you're not on the coast where the main um
Right. Yeah,
the
the
main
only thing we get here is earthquakes. We don't get anything else. And I'm okay with that. We get one every, 20 years? Let's see. I can go by my niece because the last one we had, she was 10 and she's 29 now. So, 19 years ago was our last earthquake. And I remember I was babysitting her, and no warning, nothing, everything just started to shake. And earthquakes can be pretty terrifying, but I grabbed her and picked her up and we stood in the doorway. That's what they tell you to do.
how long
uh,
how long did it last?
well, it seems like forever
Right.
when you're in one, but um, Michelle, I don't know. I don't know how long it lasted. Maybe a minute or two, a couple minutes.
Okay.
Um, uh, and then I remember when I was very small. I was 6 or 7, and we had an earthquake in elementary school. And I don't know why, but we're talking what 1964 maybe, and they had us all run outside and lay on the ground. And I remember I watched the ground just roll, Michelle, up and down. The ground just rolled, and
That's
I
cr-
had, yeah, and when you're little like that, you have traumatic things, you can remember them, and I'll never forget it. And I was so scared, and they had us lay on the ground, and the ground was rolling. I mean, it was crazy. And my mother was at Boeing at that time, and I remember after it was over, my dad came and picked us up, and we had to go pick up my mom at work, and uh, women were trampled in the stairwells because people were panicking to get out of the building. And a couple women my mom worked had to go to the hospital because the men were just trampling over these women that were on the ground. I mean,
that's crazy.
yeah,
I
but
can
see, people, when there's, a catastrophe like that, people panic. And yeah, those are the two earthquakes I remember. Um,
well, that's not. I mean, if you consider, if that's the extent of really bad weather conditions, but I can't imagine like I seriously could not imagine um because being, wherever, and
Right.
then literally just the ground, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And the ground does open up.
And they
Uh,
don't, and with earthquakes too, they can't predict them, and they can't tell you how long either. Like when it
yeah.
hurt,
They have the center, we have thousands of small earthquakes that we don't feel here. Same with California, we're in Oregon, we're on that strip, and they keep saying, that we're going to have a big one someday. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but they keep saying that. Oh, we're on that fault or something.
oh
I
yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard of
I'm
that. Yeah.
yeah. And so they keep saying, a big one's gonna come, someday. Well, we've had several. It hasn't been the big one, so I don't know
Well,
what
they
they
always
mean by
say
the
that. Well,
big one.
that's how they say that the world. That's why we have oceans and stuff, because there was major earthquakes that separated all the land. Eventually, the land just broke apart, and that's why we have the continents that we have. Apparently,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they always keep saying that California will break off into the ocean too.
yeah,
Uh,
California is a major
yeah,
one. Yeah,
right.
I know they get a lot of
Yeah,
earthquakes there. But yeah, like that has to be terrifying because like even
yeah,
with
yeah. It's pretty
tornadoes,
scary.
yeah, with tornadoes and hurricanes, at least you get a warning. Like there's,
Yeah,
this is, do what you got to do. And then
right.
at least we're like earthquakes, they don't give you, it's not like you get this warrant like, oh, we're going to have an earthquake today. Like, so, you
Oh, I
know,
know, because yeah, every year we have thousands of small ones underground.
we've had small ones, like,
Yeah,
but like you could, most of the time I didn't even know it happened. Like I didn't
right.
know
Yeah,
until like they said something on the news, like, oh yeah,
same thing here.
it was like
Yeah,
a magnitude of like, I don't know, two. Like it wasn't
yeah.
like a magnitude of anything, significant. But yeah, seven. Marcia just said 780 this year so far. Oh, so Marcia said that there's been 780 earthquakes so far this year, Marcia.
Is that for the? Is Marcia? Are you on the West Coast also?
Yeah, I don't know where Marcia is. So yeah, um, I have to, let's see. So let's see, what's the next topic? So they had a volcano erupt in the Philippines. Let's take a look. I want to make sure.
Oh, she meant they've had 780 tornadoes, Mark.
Oh, yeah, tornadoes. Man, I have to tell you, I saw a tornado and I'm like, I am so happy that I don't live in a place where that's the normal thing in a certain time of year. Like, oh,
Oh
good,
yeah, I know. Me
just
too. Me
just a
too.
just a tornado. Ohio next, Kentucky. Yeah, we don't experience tornadoes here. We don't, obviously we don't experience hurricanes. No tornadoes. Um, the bad weather that we get here is just a ton of snow, and let me tell you, it is a pain to deal with, because we get so much of it. And
Yeah,
just like if you leave the house, it's just like there's days when it's like, do I really have to do anything today? That's how bad it gets sometimes, where you're thinking to yourself, well, if I don't have to like go to work or whatever, you don't leave the house. It's not like, unless if you have to do something, like you just stay at home and you're just like, well, I'm just
right.
gonna but um Yeah, snow, ice. Yeah, like I don't think I'm not even sure. We could check the records, but I don't even think there's ever been a tornado in New York because it's not flat land here. So if a
Right.
tornado were to form here, it would dissipate really fast because if it were to touch down, it would be so hilly and bumpy, it would just go right back into the sky.
Oh, I know. Yeah, here too. We have mountains everywhere. So
Yeah, it wouldn't
yeah,
work there either. It would
no,
even if
no.
let's see.
Mm-mm.
So let's take a look. All right. Let's see what we have. Marcia said they're both 20 minutes away from me, tri-state. Oh, so she lives in the tri-state area. She said Ohio next to Kentucky and Indiana too. So she lives kind of like in the Midwest. I don't know. Do they consider Ohio the Midwest? I don't think so much Ohio.
I don't know. I would have to look at a map. I can't remember where all the states are. I mean, I know the West Coast, the East Coast, but when it comes to the middle, now my parents are from North Dakota, and they used to get tornadoes and a lot of snow. But like my mom said, it was flat, so driving in the snow was really no big deal uh, because North Dakota, most of it is pretty, flat land.
Now,
Uh,
now, did they live like on like a farm? Like because most of isn't it mostly farmland in North Dakota?
it is, but no, my mother and my grandparents lived in Fargo. They owned a cafe,
Okay.
and they lived above the restaurant. And that little cafe put my mom through college and everything. They made quite a bit of money. They had it for many years.
I bet. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of um a lot of small restaurant businesses here actually do pretty like actually make it and do pretty decent here. We don't have like a ton of like restaurants that open up that you know what I mean that close within a year or so. Most of them usually last for a long time, but
That,
a lot of
that's
restaurants.
cool. I miss, we lost quite a few of the independent little restaurants during COVID. Um, my favorite was a little Chinese restaurant that was here for many years, only a short drive from my house, but he couldn't, when COVID hit, he couldn't make it. They had to close down. Um, so we just mostly have stupid chain restaurants now. Yep.